My question has always been to any state, what have you done with the revenue allocation that you've been receiving? There is no accountability on the usage of that revenue allocation meant for the state. Our problem in the country is that we have not strengthened our institutions. And so we keep thinking about creation, multiplication, proliferation, creation, multiplication, proliferation. And it will never solve the problem until those institutions are strengthened.
The problem, if you ask me, I would say, is not with the machineries, it's not with the law, it is with the people who move the law. What they do is they take advantage of technical problems we have in our law and the administration of criminal justice.
Constitutionally, if you look at section 14, subsection 3 and 4, it is clear that the composition of the government of the federation and its operation must be carried out in such a way that the principles of federal character should be reflected.
This is about a man set to disrupt Nigeria's political status quo against all odds.
The 9 local governments of Southern Borno have been affected and have these similar problems of water, education, and healthcare. And this is even worsened by the lack of infrastructure. Yet our situation will remain the same unless and until we vote for leaders that will make a case for that.
For many years, one of the major problems of growing democratic societies like Nigeria has been about bridging the gap between the leaders and the led, bringing government closer to the people by ensuring delivery of the dividends of democracy. People die in their hundreds daily as a result of killings, bad healthcare system, bad roads, and a complete failure of infrastructure, among many other reasons. A failed educational system and the rising number of unemployment has seen increase in poverty and criminality that appears to have overwhelmed the capacity of the state.
You know, I have lots of people I talk with abroad who have shown extreme interest in intervening in our areas. We don't have roads. Recently, there was a bombing in Damboa. There was no hospital in Damboa. They moved people like animals to Biu. And because the hospital in Biu was so jam-packed, these people were kept under the trees like that. Somebody who was there phoned me and told me at a point there were less health care givers, that private citizens that come to visit their people had to be involved in putting drip for people. In a society where we know considerable money has been voted for such development in our areas. And we talk about roads. Have you been to schools in our areas now? These people sit under the tree on top of rocks. The roofs are open. And I know that the President Buhari has meant so well for Borno State that you need to see the way and manner in which he has favored the state. So there is a missing link, there is a missing, and this is across Nigeria, but I speak for my people. And how long are we going to keep saying we are successful and we do not live for the impact of our people? You are not successful if your people are not successful. You are not a happy man if your people are not happy. That's the essence of life, to live for others, to impact their community. So that's what informed my decision. And I have it as a strong conviction.
The consistent failure and lies of politicians has seen many wallow in despair, resulting in the lack of confidence in the democratic process. This has led to the abandonment of Nigeria's political space to men with no integrity, whose interest is to be served and not to serve. But in the words of Edmund Burke, The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. This is why the people need not only a good leader, but a lawyer to make a case on their behalf.
A lot of people ask me questions such as, you are very successful in practice of law. Why are you leaving it for politics? Why are you venturing into politics? And we have a concept in Nigeria that once somebody is going into politics, it's like he's leaving usefulness and going into uselessness. Sometimes people even think if you're going into politics, it's like you have decided to drop your brain at home and go out without a brain. But the reverse is the case. Politics should be a platform where you bring what you are and what you have to bear for the good of the people. And so whenever you travel and whenever you engage with people, and even when you express opinion and views like that for your people, there's always the question of how long will you keep talking before the change can happen. And then I realized that you can talk all you want until you take part in politics. You cannot bring the change. That's why my anchor is, I say there are many politicians but few leaders. The leaders seek to impact the people and change them. Politicians run it like a business. And so everyone who runs for office is classified as politician, but you must be open and clear about the fact that you are coming as a leader and not as a politician.
Born to parents from Gwaski Hawa local government area of Borno State, Daniel Hassan Bwala started his education by obtaining his first school-leaving certificate from Bolori Primary School in 1988. For his post-primary education, he obtained his secondary school certificate from Brigadier Maimalari Day Secondary School in 1993. Bwala gained admission in 2001 to study Advanced Diploma in Public Administration from the University of Maiduguri and thereafter obtained his Bachelor of Laws degree from the same university. Called to bar in 2008 as a bar and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, Bwala started his career as a legal counsel with the law firm of J.K. Gazama and has since grown to be a successful lawyer, setting up his own law firm under the name and style of Bwala & Co. With LLM in International Business Law from the Coventry University, United Kingdom, the aspiring lawmaker and a member of the Nigerian Bar Association was admitted to practice in England and Wales by the Honourable Society of the Lincolns in London.
Now, when a lawyer is venturing into politics, to me that's the most ideal thing that you can do, to bring the knowledge of law to bear. Because Section 4 of the Constitution makes it clear that the legislature, they make laws. The power to make laws for peace, order, and good government lies with the legislature. So when you get the chance to be in politics, and especially in the National Assembly, as I seek to run for Senate, you get that opportunity to make laws. We have been living with the colonial laws in Nigeria, and I've seen how that my people are largely affected and they become the victim of circumstance because of the inability of people in the legislative role to play their role in terms of bringing development. So I made a choice to run for Senate so that I will contribute my part to lawmaking that will bring peace, order, and good government to my people. And if you look at peace, order, and good government, it is by no means a coincidence. When it talks of peace, it talks about security. Make laws that will secure the land. Order means laws that will create a saner environment and society. Good government means bringing the dividends of democracy to the people. And it is in such order in the Constitution that it is by no means a coincidence.
A legal practitioner, a notary public, author, arbitrator, public speaker, resource person, and regulatory consultant, Bwala is a regular analyst on local and international TV networks, including Vox Africa UK, Ben TV UK, Channels Television, NTA, AIT, Arise TV London, TVC Nigeria, TSTV Africa, and many others.
Now, when you're a lawyer, you're venturing, it becomes then easy. So when that became obvious, my people then started saying, every time they see me on television, been advocating for the right of my people, why don't you run for office so you can play that role? So I see going into politics as bringing the law, knowledge and experience to bear for the good of your people. Advocating, that's what the law, the essence of law is, to make advocacy for the rights of people. So you are advocating for the right of your people. You are advocating for what belongs to them to go to them. And beyond that, you use that influence that you have in bringing the government's presence and international development to your people through the various international partnerships that we are forming.
A generous and selfless leader, Bwala promises to use his influence home and abroad to create jobs through entrepreneurship to the teeming unemployed youths in his senatorial district. Bwala believes that for Nigerians to experience real change, attention must be given to the caliber and personalities of candidates elected into public offices, and governance must be all-inclusive.
Fortunately enough, the part of the state where I come from are largely people that are given to education. If you go to my hometown in the village, you will see a lot of graduates farming because there is no job and they are educated, but they cannot then sit down, so they are farming. You will see a lot. When you see somebody selling recharge cards, he starts speaking to you, you wonder. That is the part of the country where I come from. They have given to study. So our role now is to introduce entrepreneurship. Our role now is to use our platforms, our connection, our relationship, and as much as we can even influence lawmaking that will create that enabling environment for people who work hard to thrive, either by way of entrepreneurship, also encouraging institutions such as bank and credit facility companies to give people. My role as a lawmaker when I come is to bring, first of all, the fact of what my people are, where they are, to the world. And then number two, to see how I can bridge the gap by bringing the world to my people. And then that way, while you do the business of lawmaking, you also play that role. That way, you are hoping that your people will be able to see the light of the day.
A man from a humble background who has become successful in his career through diligence, hard work, faith, perseverance with the help of God, believes that every child of Southern Borno deserves a better opportunity to realize his or her dreams.
We are going to do politics differently this time around. We are not going to dash money. We will mobilize you to work. And then secondly, we don't even have the money to dash. We are not like the incumbent or the politicians who have stolen money. From my practice of law, I've invested millions so far. I'm not complaining. The movement is very strong because of the way I communicate my message in a very clear and unequivocal. In fact, the way and manner in which I communicate, sometimes my aides, when we get back to the hotel, they will say, can you just reduce it small so that they don't scare them? I say, no, this is my life. And so that's what we take our time to speak to them. It is going to be a tough ask, but it is what we must stay on it as a society if we want to bring election to be something that people will vote on the basis of conscience than on the basis of money. When you go to vote, vote your conscience. Because whenever you go to vote, what must come to your mind is not you. It's the future of your brother, your sister, your son. You know the situation as this is bad. Just imagine what it will be if wrong people continue to rule. And if you don't want that, reverse it by voting the right people. I am breaking the jink and the norm already.
Gana mu ya fito, jama'a ko fito, mu bi ambato. Ga talakawa na faɗin sai kayi, masu kuɗi suna faɗin sai kayi, manya suna faɗin sai kayi, ga maza suna faɗin sai kayi, mata suna faɗin sai kayi, kankaje ka ɗau nauyi, barisa taimakon talakawa. Ya zo cire mu a cikin kunci, taimakonsa baya yin bambanci. Ga jarumin mu mai adalci, mai ilimi ne shi kutubar zo. Barista Daniel Hassan Bwala.